Back with our closer look. States are often called the laboratories of democracy, and this week we're seeing that in action. Washington state's experiment with legalized marijuana begins on Tuesday. We'll get to that in a moment, but first to Georgia, where one of the widest-reaching gun laws in the country went into effect less than a week ago. Nicknamed the Guns Everywhere Law by critics, it allows license owners to carry firearms into public places like bars, churches, schools, and some government buildings. But a controversial group in Texas is calling for much more, pushing for the open carry of weapons anywhere. Byron Pitts traveled to San Antonio and brings us this closer look.
We're going to do a little open carry at Chili's, guys. Got my BZ-58.
The movement started in Texas. Gun owners carrying long guns like AR-15s in public places, catching many by surprise. From critics,
there's children here, and you're a dumbass,
to supporters.
If a bad guy comes, there's a lot of good guys here to protect me.
Causing panic in some communities.
911, what is the emergency?
It looked like I seen 4 white men walking towards the Jack in the Box with assault rifles.
And quickly becoming an easy punchline for late-night comics.
We're here, we've got gear, get used to it.
You guys aren't just firearm enthusiasts, you're ammo-sexuals.
But for diehard supporters, this is no joking matter. Rather, it's as serious as the U.S. Constitution.
This is probably the safest corner in San Antonio right now.
That's C.J. Grisham, the man who started Open Carry Texas, a master sergeant in the U.S. Army, now just a few months from retirement.
This is sort of my around-the-house AR-15.
I've never quite heard it phrased that way.
My around-the-house AR-15?
Yeah.
He proudly showed us the small arsenal he keeps at home in his bedroom closet, all loaded, his wife's, and their children's. Grisham says he went from gun enthusiast to gun rights advocate after this confrontation caught on the police officer's dashboard camera.
I was arrested last year. My son and I were going on a hike.
Grisham says he brought along that rifle strapped across his chest to protect them from wild animals.
About halfway through our hike, a police officer approached.
Some reason why you have this?
Because I can.
Well, okay.
Since carrying a rifle is legal, even without a license in Texas, Grisham believes what happened next was illegal.
Hey, no, don't disturb me, man. Hey! And at that point, he pulled his gun, stuck it to my head, threw me into the car.
How long are you keeping me in jail for?
That video went viral. A national movement was born. Not just the right to carry a long gun openly in public, but handguns as well.
And that's the bottom line for you, the right to openly carry a pistol.
Right, and you know, once we get that, people aren't going to be walking around with rifles, and you probably won't even see a whole bunch of people walking around with pistols, but we should have that opportunity.
The Open Carry movement's chief adversary is a group called Mothers Demand Action for Gun Sense in America, founded by Shannon Watts, a stay-at-home mom from Indiana.
If we use our wallets and we use our votes, we can affect real change in our country's gun culture.
Her group pressured big-name store chains like Starbucks, Chipotle, Chili's, and Jack in the Box to ask their customers to leave their guns at home. Just this week, retail giant Target weighed in, writing, "We respectfully request that guests not bring firearms to Target, even in communities where it's permitted by law."
They listened to us when we said, we don't want loaded assault weapons around our children when we're shopping.
Nearly every week, C.J. Grisham, his wife Emily, and often their 12 and 16-year-old hit the road to attend open carry marches across Texas.
Oh, our guns are kissing.
Aww.
One weekend, we rode along to a rally in San Antonio.
Here are people with guns, and they're not shooting up a school, they're not shooting up a business, they're not robbing a bank.
There are folk in the country who you are scaring, right?
I realize that there are people that have what I call an irrational fear of guns.
For Grisham and those who support him nationwide, the battle over open carry is far from over. It's just beginning. For this week, Byron Pitts, ABC News, San Antonio.
Our thanks to Byron. The Dallas Morning News reports this weekend that Grisham's group recently stopped carrying long guns into businesses to bring the focus back to open carry of handguns.